Ji was very graciously mentioning about the various T1s and C1s. But the ordinary man could only understand the T2 because that's a common name. So, my dear friend Pushpinder, Navneet, Amitoz, Mastan, Bridge on the dais, and distinguished brothers and sisters of this very noble profession. Today, in this conference, I welcome you all. When Pushpinder called me up to say that you have to come and speak in GST conclave, I was wondering that, although I am part of this profession, but practically we've not been doing any practice on myself in GST. So I was curiously trying to understand what Atul was speaking. So whatever I could understand, I have explained in his introduction. But I'm sure number of conclaves, number of meetings in the past and in the coming time you would be attending. GST is a very curious question, and more than half of the countries in the world, they have implemented it, and the other half is looking at them curiously that what will happen to them. And this year has been very, very important for Indian economy, that virtually we, as an economy, we've delivered 2 babies. So the economy sometimes, that passes through that labor pain. So that is the kind of a pain in which all of us have gone through. And later on, it's always a very comfortable journey when you look at your child growing and you see that what is happening all around. I was seeing how the improvement in terms of GDP growth was reported today morning, how it improved from the earlier quarter to this quarter, and how the collection in GST improved. But at times, some of our clients, they do contact us that this particular problem, some particular refunds of exporters, or there are certain things which would always be there, some pending issues would always be there. But as a professional, I feel that you have number of dignitaries today who are learned members of the profession who are going to address you today. I am only just trying to say that you are a kind of a hand holding and a touch in between, something which you can understand from the books, something which you can understand from the top, and maybe get it delivered down to the bottom. So we are the ones who are the kind of springboards or shock absorbers in any auto. You would understand this word better than anyone else. So we are the ones who sometimes face the pinch from the department as well as from the client. So we are in between. So how do we understand this and how do we solve? And there are some inhibitions sometimes, a client does not understand those things which you are able to understand. And actually they are not ones, there are certain myths which are going around in the world. How do we clarify those myths? I think we can bank upon our learned people that how they can address those issues. And when you sit across, you find that it is not really one. And when you do something for the society, it always comes back to you. When you do something for yourself, it's always limited. So we basically need to enhance our level of viewing the things, our vision, our spectrum, unless and until we do not go in that line. I remember from our mythology once Krishna and Arjun they were just walking on a road and they saw one one Brahmin who was sitting on the side and who was begging. And Arjuna, he really felt offended that over there Brahmin is asking for alms. So what he did, like he just took out around 100 odd coins from his pocket and he gave it to him and he said, okay, now take care, don't sit here and beg. He said, fine. He was very happy, so he put it in his pocket and he just proceeded toward his home. On the way, he found there was a dacoit, and so he realized that this guy is having 100 gold coins. So he looted from him and he pocketed it and ran away. The second day, this gentleman is again sitting on the same road, again begging. Now again, Krishna and Arjun, they were walking from that side, and again he saw and he said that I did like this for you yesterday. Now again you are begging. I thought this is over for you. So he said that somebody looted from him. So he gave him his precious ring and he said, this is one of the most precious stones, so this will take care of your life forever. So please don't lose it. So the man, he very trying to secure it, he just pocketed it and went home and just put it on the shelf in a घड़े में. घड़े को क्या बोलते हैं यार अंग्रेजी में, मैं तो earthen pot. So he just kept it over there that nobody will be able to steal. So he went off to sleep. His wife came and she realized there was no water, so she took the earthen pot to the river for fetching the water. Now while fetching the water, naturally once she cleaned the pot, so the ring went into the river. And when he got up, he realized that the pot was full of water and there was no ring again. Now the third day again he was sitting there on the street. Now again Krishna and Arjun, they passed through that side and they realized that this man is there. Krishna took out 2 paisas from his pocket and gave it to him. Now Arjun was feeling in his mind that what Krishna is doing, he is giving only 2 paisas. I gave him 100 gold coins, then I gave him a precious stone. I could not change his life, so he's given 2 paisas. So, but he could not say anything because the situation was such. And the beggar, he himself, he thought that what is this kind of a situation that one prince over here, he gives me this much, and who's virtually God, he gives me only 2 paisas. Anyway, he couldn't also say anything. So he kept those 2 paisas in his hand and he started walking. And in his mind he realized that what can he do with this 2 paisas? So on the way he found that there was a fish seller. So, and there was a fish in the pot. And he said, what will I do with this 2 paisa? Why not I buy this fish and release this fish into the water? Maybe, I can do something later on. So he did that. He took the pot where the fish was in that pot, and while he was taking the fish to the river, the fish, the ring came out of the fish's mouth. So while he looked at the fish and he realized, the fish is giving that ring which he had lost in the river. Now seeing that, उसने जोर-जोर से बोला, मिल गया, मिल गया, मिल गया. So from that side, that dacoit was going on the horse, so he realized, he thought that I am caught and he is saying, मिल गया, मिल गया, मिल गया, so I'll be caught and hanged. So he immediately hands over those 100 gold coins to him and he says, oh, I'm sorry, please don't tell anyone. So then he runs away. Now here is a learning. which Krishna gave to Arjun. He said that when you gave him 100 coins, he wanted to procure and preserve for himself. He wanted to help himself only. Then the same thing happened with the ring. He said, how could your 2 paisas have made all the difference? He said, with that 2 paisas, he wanted to help somebody else than himself. That is where all the difference which is there. So I'm just driving home this point that when you think in your mind that you are going to help somebody, the world comes to your help. And sometimes our professionals, like they feel that we are doing this thing only for earning. Today's conference is not for earning. Today's conference is for learning. So if you can shift from the earning to the learning, if you can shift from helping yourself to helping others, I am sure it is going to be of immense value to the system, to the society, to the world around you. And when you help the world, that help comes back to you. I think with this idea, you can have a very good beginning of your GST conclave, your discussions. I hope in these 2 days, whatever are the issues in your mind, there are people coming from the profession, there are people experts from the professional world, there are some experts from the department. So you'll be able to quench the thirst of your queries in these 2 days. I wish you and this conclave all the best. God bless you. Thank you.